No, we're excited about this season coming up. The guys have had a good off season. Everyone's worked really hard. Everyone's in pretty good shape, and we're getting great senior leadership from DeJuan Wright and Jeremy Allen. And freshmen are looking good. Dominique Ferguson came back. He's a lot bigger, a lot stronger. I think Phil Taylor, who came in last year with Dominique, will also give us better guard play. So we're pretty excited to get started.
Isiah, the first thing you notice when you watch the team is the names on the back of the jerseys. You're like, at first you don't realize it, then you see what all the words are. Talk about that.
Well, we definitely want to, build our value base here. The values that we play with as a team. I was taught by the late John McClendon, you play as you live. And, I'm a values-based coach. I'm not a friendship coach where, some guys are friends with their players. I came up under Coach Knight, and, we believe that if you build the man, the player will come. And once they take these values and they put them inside them and they become that as people, then that trust, that sacrifice, that honesty, that loyalty, you'll get all that within their play.
You're in year 3 here. How far along are you on that front, and do you see a difference in this year's team?
Well, we definitely see a difference. The first thing we had to do was get it together academically here. We've graduated 13 out of 15 players here, and the other 2 that didn't graduate is because we sent them away. So we stress education here, and everyone is really hitting the books hard, and that carries over into your play. Smart teams win, intelligent teams win, and the little things that cost us basketball games last year in terms of turnovers and foul shooting, we had, I think in conference we played 10 out of 11 games where we were lost by 6 points or less. And, those are games that came down to the last minute. And if we execute a little bit better in the last minute of the game, you very easily can, be sitting here talking about us being second or third in the conference as opposed to finishing where we finished.
Coach, does that fuel the fire even more for yourself, knowing that you guys are picked to finish 5th or whatever in the conference rather than, a little bit better?
I don't think I've ever played on a team or coached a team, high school basketball, where, I've never been picked first. So I finished first a lot, but I've never been picked first at the start. So I'm good with that. I mean, it really doesn't matter until the end of the season. And last year we made it all the way to the semifinal game, and we you one game away from playing for it all. And this year, our goal is to finish that game off and be in the final game to have a chance to really play for it all.
You guys lost a lot of senior players from last year, and you gained a lot of new players. How different is the dynamic from last year to this year on this team?
It's a very different dynamic because this is really like your almost kind of like your first year, because you got your freshman in, you got a sophomore class that came in late last year in terms of Ferguson and Taylor, but now you got a nice freshman class underneath. So we've laid a pretty good foundation, and I think our seniors last year did a great job of just instilling a style of play that we want to have. We were 28th in the country, I believe, in steals last year. We were 2nd in the league in terms of scoring. So they instituted a pretty good style of play that we want to continue to adapt and continue to get better at.
Coach, being a Hall of Famer, obviously a lot of the focus here when we talk about FIU basketball is focused around you. Do you use that to tell the guys as motivation, let's try to change that philosophy, let it be focused around you guys rather than me all the time?
Well, in the beginning, as we are right now, it's good. You know, but as we continue to move off the dock here, you know, eventually the focus will come on the players. But you know, in the building process where we are right now, of course, this is how it's going to be, and you know, until we start winning, you know, some championships and start winning some games, you know, the focus will be here until we can get it on the players, and we'll just keep doing a better job of recruiting and getting better players.
Coach, what do you see from Jill so far in practice? What do you expect from him early in the season?
He's a quick learner, and he's very skilled. You know, he can shoot the basketball from 15 feet. He's got good low post moves. However, you know, his strength right now is not where it's going to be 3 years from now. You know, 2-3 years from now, you're looking at a guy who's probably put on another 30 to 40 pounds. And once he puts on the type of weight that he needs, he'll probably be the most dominant player in this conference because his size is just unmatched by most people in the conference. You know, and he's got a high skill level. So, you know, he and Ferguson, you know, moving forward, Ferguson, and Moore and everyone, and, you know, we get some more bigs that's coming in. So we got a nice foundation that we're building. So I'm pretty pleased with what I've seen achieved.
Can you talk a little bit about your senior leadership? You have Jeremy Allen, DeJuan Wright, the 2 seniors on the team. Can you talk about how big of a role they're going to play as far as leaders on this team?
They've been great from the end of last season to where we are now. Every day in practice, they bring it every day in practice. They make the other guys play harder. You know, they're in the classroom. They're hitting the books. I think Jeremy may finish early. I think he may finish early, possibly in January, and may try to, you know, enroll in the master's program. So educationally, these guys are doing a good job, and out on the floor, I'm very excited with what they're doing.
Any more questions for Coach?
Coach, let's talk about the progression of Taylor from the beginning of last year to now, turning him around the role as the point guard.
His confidence and just understanding the college game. I mean, he came in last year, he and Ferguson, they came in from playing high school ball to, you know, being thrown right into the fire. I mean, the first couple of games, I mean, we had those guys playing, you know, 30, 35 minutes, and, you know, it cost us some games early, but, you know, the learning curve that they developed and the confidence that they have now, I think it definitely paid off. I mean, Phil right now, he has a good grasp of the offense. He understands what we want to do defensively. You know, he's a shot maker. He's got about every shot you want to have from a point guard. He's got runners. He's got floaters. He's got a good perimeter game in terms of shooting basketball. He's an excellent passer. You know, so I'm real pleased with him.
When does this lockout thing end?
What's today?
Next month, what, Tuesday?
Yeah, Tuesday. So I guess we'll know tomorrow.
Any more questions for
I think we're all hoping that it ends. You know.
In terms of preparing for George Mason, there's been a change up there with Paul Hewitt coming in from Georgia Tech. How do you prepare with a coach with his type of system and then a team that has different parts? Do you go back to what he did at Georgia Tech, and you try to like adapt to what you think the players will be able to do?
Well, you get some old tape of. We've got some old tape of what they did last year. They played a lot of zone last year. You know, at George Mason, but that was under a different coach. I'm sure Paul will come in. He'll try to be much more up tempo. You know, they have an excellent team that had some great success last year. So they got good players, and we'll try to figure out you know what Paul has done in the past, and you know try to game around it or scout around it. But for the most part, I think they have a game. What's the date? Is the date the 11th?
Today?
Friday's the 11th.
Eighth.
Friday's not busy.
They play on the 11th. I think they play Rhode Island, so we'll try to get some film from that game and see if we can get prepared for it.